Hi guys. I'm filming this in between like 8 calls that I have today, so don't mind it's a little slightly rushed. But and as you can see by the massive amount of papers, this is a brainstorming day. I had this idea when I was hanging out for my birthday. I'm also gonna try and just keep this in one shot, so there's gonna be like no edits because it saves me so much time. Um, Hanging out for my birthday, just sitting by my pool, having a great old time, you know. Um I think most people are stuck with creating a portfolio. And also, there's just like massive unemployment and a pandemic going on, and lots of people are looking for work and they're out of a job, and et cetera, et cetera. So, I thought I would put together a free course, kind of, sort of, on which I'm still trying to piece together, thus the papers, on how this will work, of putting together a portfolio. Now, on one hand, just know that you need to have like some kind of skills. This is not going to be like me teaching copy. This is not going to be any of that. That is a whole other ballpark of like research and putting together and getting my brains on board with like teaching copy that like I'm not there yet. So, but it's going to be putting together a portfolio. So this is the start of week 1, and it'll go until July 30. Are there 31 days in July? I think it ends on a Friday. Yeah, of basically each week putting it together, what you can do. Of course, it's hard to put together an entire portfolio in that chunk of time, but if you're hustling, you're unemployed, you need work like tomorrow, this is how to do it. So the first week, this week, we're going to focus on basically what the client needs and what you need to wrap your head around that you need to make. So your portfolio obviously is your living resume for freelance work. And if you want to get clients and you want to do all these things and make a freelance career in anything, like that's the thing, keep in mind. Obviously, most of my audience is copywriters and writers, which is fair. But if you have skills in anything, or like you want to get into copywriting, but you have all these skills in photography and you just need to put together a portfolio. Oh, I'm taking my camera all over the place. Cool. Like however you want to do it, however you want to put it together, like whatever skills you want to monetize over the rest of the year. Sick. Cool. So when a client lands on your portfolio, these are the things to keep in mind, right? They want to see, one, for the most part, clients are going to have no idea really what are good portfolio pieces. You know, like if I was hiring a photographer, well, I took classes in photography, that's not fair. But okay, a graphic designer. Like I don't know much about fonts and what colors work together. I just looked at things and I'm like, that's pretty for the most part. And if you're like a copywriter, for the most part, clients are going to look at it and go like, I like that. That's fun, or that's interesting, or I like that. But they're not going to know really what makes it good. However, you just need to have a good amount of pieces. I always say like 5 to 10, I think is really solid, on something to present to the clients to show that you're competent. More than anything, they just want to show like, one, maybe other brands have trusted you to be hired, and two, that like you're competent enough to like put like things together. You're not going to make them look dumb. Now, that's generally your portfolio, which is what we're going to focus on. Also, some other things to include that really just like help like nail it out of the park are testimonials. And that just simply means asking people you've worked with what they think of you, any results they got from your work with them, that kind of stuff. Case studies. Case studies are really in depth and hard to write, and you have to get like, permission from the brand to share these back-end data things, which not sometimes they're cool with, sometimes they're not. Of course, asked before you just show some back-end Google Analytics for a brand that like, they didn't consent to. And also interviews and press about you as a person, like getting on podcasts, all these things. And those 4 things all put together made a very, very strong portfolio piece. Which maybe I'll cover the like other 3 loosely in this month. I haven't decided yet, still planning it out. But I knew week 1 was, okay, you need portfolio pieces. And we're going to focus on like that first tier, like just the pieces themselves. And you have some skills. You maybe have a portfolio piece here or there, but, or maybe you don't at all. I mean, let's just assume you don't at all. And let's say you want to be a copywriter. Okay, you need 5 to 10. What you need to decide this week is what area you're going to decide these in. Are you going to do landing pages? Are you going to do home? Do you want to do web copy? Do you want to do printed ads? Oh my God, Rocky, not right now. This is one take wonder. My neighbors are moving and she's on a rage. So, what industry and what pieces are you going to make? And you need to decide this like within the week. Obviously, this weekend is 4th of July and a lot of people are going to be whatever. But get out a sheet of paper and go, okay, I'm going to focus on a landing page, a home page, and an about page in these 3 industries. Like, you're going to pick your industries, and this could apply to any kind of freelancing. And just to give you some kind of direction, I'm not saying, I think people have followed my content enough to know that I'm not like hell-bent on picking a niche and writing it out forever. I'm just a person who's multi-passionate, so it's fun for me to mix it up. Some people, it's fun to mix it up. Some people write out one industry that they want to write about forever, which is cool. Anyway, you're going to pick some today. Now, generally my rule is an industry that you feel like you're an expert in. Now, if you're like 20, it's hard to have an industry that you're an expert in because the work experience is not fully there. But a lot of people have had to work, jobs, and they've had to do things, or they've researched enough, or they're studying their degree in X, Y, and Z. It's enough to be not full expert status yet, but at least you can talk in a way where you use the language that these people use. Number 1, that just should be in there no matter what. Even if you think it's boring, it's not your favorite industry, like, that's fine. It will shortcut a lot of research hours, is the point. Number 2, industry is something that's like a hobby of yours, right? Like, for myself, like, fitness is my top hobby. I can write as if like I'm, I've followed the industry enough. I'm into the whole world enough. I've been consuming content from bodybuilders for the last 10 years. So that's my hobby. I could easily write about it. No big deal. And then a third one, I just have people do this. You don't have to do this. So just like an industry that you're interested in, you think would be fun, something you've been like meaning to get into for time, and you haven't fully yet. So 3 industries, and then what are you going to do to make the pieces? Are you going, if you are a copywriter, I won't fully commit to a sales page only because those can take 2 to 3 weeks sometimes to write. And if we're going to bang this out in a month, just like, don't do that to yourself unless you're fully determined, then cool. So, let's say you're a photographer. You're going to do, of course, this is tough. Maybe like some industries require much more time investment than other ones. But let's say like, okay, portraits, pets, maternity, right? Like, you can bang out like the types, and then are those industries or the whatever. A list of 3 things that you need to focus on first, because the next week is going to be outreach, hitting them up, and getting these pieces, writing them, putting together, will be like, the next 2 weeks, give or take. And then like the last week will be putting this together. I'll show you how I built my portfolio, how you can, you want more food, huh? Oh, the joys of working from home. I love you. Hang on. Coffee break. Okay. So you're going to decide what you're going to... Alright, I gotta feed her before she throws a fit. Hang on. Okay, you can probably hear her happily chewing in the background. So, what you're going to put in there. If you're a blogger, you're going to decide, like, okay, what do I need? Do I need blogs? Do I need, you know, and if it, and obviously you need blogs if you want to be a blogger, but like what industries, like what kind of things do you want to target? Get focused on what you need to create over this next month and make a list and like have it all broken down. That will help you a lot for the next 2 weeks to like navigate what is next after this and who you're gonna reach out to and how you're gonna put it together. And like I said, the last week will be like, okay, let me show you how to make these portfolio pieces, how to put it on a portfolio, so it all looks like semi-professional. I obviously use Squarespace, which will be heavily pushed. Oh my god, if I did a Squarespace brand deal, I would cry. Yeah. And then throughout this whole month, I'm thinking loosely of people who already have like some portfolio pieces or a portfolio down and just like doing a roundup call of those and doing maybe like 2 live streams question mark on like auditing kind of like, or just advice on how they could be better, how they could be stronger, like what they could do to like make their portfolio better, so then obviously everybody can get an idea of what to put in there. So summary, week 1, decide and make a list of what you're going to need over this next month, what you're specializing in, and like just that checklist of like, okay, I want to write for the car industry and I want to do web copy, so I need a car, I don't know cars at all, a homepage for specialized tail lights, right? I don't know, however you want to like mark it all out, and some will work and some won't work. Obviously as we work throughout the month and you narrow it down with time. So keep focused on industries that you know well enough to knock these out, so you're not researching 10-12 hours a day of like each piece that takes you like a week or 2 to write, because or do or put together. Obviously if you're a photographer or a coder or like a personal trainer or whatever, like it's a little bit different. But anyway, there is a Facebook group to everything down below. I will try to answer as much as possible. Obviously, I have client work and I have power hours and mentorships that are all flowing at the same time. So keep in mind, my only rule for everything is like, don't be a douchebag. I couldn't put that on Facebook. Facebook said that was an inappropriate question. So just agree to be nice. If you're not nice, you did hit out. So that's it. I'm excited. Still hammering out all the pieces, but I think that is the best place to start of like, okay, what the hell do you need over this next month? What do you want to be a freelancer in, and what do you need? And then the next video will be posted next Tuesday. So that would kind of just be like each week until the very last week. So that is it. If you have anything you want me to cover or anything you want me to go over or make videos about over this month, this is going to be, I'm going to sprinkle in like other videos and other content outside of just portfolio building, because not everybody's like at that level or is like way advanced past that level, etc., etc. So that is the plan. I'm excited. Anything else? No, that's it. Okay, bye guys.